Did I consent to the recording?
Yes, you did, by being in the recording. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's...
That was not in the contract.
What? Yeah,
the contract concludently.
Yes.
That's a real thing.
Yes, it's Radio Rothingham GDPR compliant.
So, we are here with a new episode of Radio Rothingham, the world's least professional podcast in the entire back alley. We have with us, well, of course, the best person in the entire universe, which is Kim Possible.
Me.
No, it's none of us. None of us are.
I am Kim Possible. Don't king shame me.
Wait, you're Kim Possible?
Why wouldn't I?
Okay, it's confirmed. Xaverius is.
Artrix, look, the surname is not possible just for laughs.
So we got Xaverius Possible.
Damn right.
We got Sekele Possible.
Oh.
We got Beck Possible.
Yee.
I think that's Dr. Bakken.
Oh yeah. Boss, what's our plan for tonight?
Was that a she-go?
And I'll be the sexy She-Go-Trix.
Yes. I mean, you wear green Artrix.
Exactly.
It's a dead giveaway.
I'm like She-Go, but with a goatee.
She-goatee. Damn right.
Yes. He's got a she-goatee, if you catch my drift. Oh, yeah.
I never asked for this.
I would like to avoid your drift Artrix from now on.
Anyhow, so yeah, we got with us a new episode where we talk about stuff that is incredibly important to the well-being of the entire species of our planet.
Are you saying the entire species of our planet has only one well-being?
Yes, whatever.
They need to put more beings into wealth.
Oh, go ahead.
Considering the stream we did 2 weeks ago, I've listened to it, and I found out that you couldn't understand what the hell I was talking about because the sound kept cutting off.
Oh yeah, last episode also very... Oh, go ahead.
I'm just going to very briefly say what was the thing I was trying to say.
Nothing important.
So it is no longer, it's no longer
in.
Basically, I was saying that during the day I was reporting on it, the Loud House was celebrating its 2 years of actually airing.
Yeah, and none of that came through.
I guess you were not loud enough.
Wow.
Good one. So that's basically the thing I was trying to say. Okay, we can continue.
But that whole thing with Dan Savino put a damper on that. Let me just put it this way. Is the Loud House still going? I think it is.
And does it have feet in it?
No, because
Or was that some other guy?
that was Dan Schneider.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
there's some other guy.
that there was that guy. Don't be that guy. Be that guy. But
The other questionable guy.
But that other guy did also do the thing that you don't, that guy did. Except it wasn't exact.
The difference is that with Dan Schneider there is no proof.
And with Dan Zafino, there was.
Yeah. I think that Schneider no longer works at Nickelodeon.
So basically just GTFO'd, and now everyone's like, oh, it's a good thing that guy's gone because he was kind of being an ass.
Yeah, he was an ass and maybe a pedo.
Maybe. Just imagine him working for Disney while Kim Possible was in production. Considering all the things we know about him, yeah. I don't think.
Look, Artrix, you just changed the Disney to Diddley and everything's alright.
I mean, we got all this Kim Possible Rule 34 on the internet, but you wouldn't really need that with him on the team, because the show would just write itself in that regard.
Forever. All the questionable fan artists will starve, Artrix.
Exactly. I mean, even Patreon wouldn't save them. Because, Disney would be raking in all that Patreon money that didn't exist yet because, the whole concept of crowdfunding didn't even exist back in the early 2000s.
Oh, it's quantum money. It only exists... Oh, quantum money. It only exists when you are taking it out of your bank account.
Aren't you talking about the concept of internet money that South Park coined?
I haven't watched South Park since like 2009, so maybe.
It was. I'm pretty sure that was pre-2009. You could have seen it.
Well, Artrix, all I remember is that episode where Stan's dog was gay, and that other episode where Cartman had a satellite up his ass.
That sounds like the perfect episode to to say your mom gay.
Just described was season 1.
Yes, those are the best seasons.
Season 1?
Season 1, that's like the season that comes after 0 and between 0.5 and 2.
Those were good times though. I remember when the channel that South Park was on, which is like one of those
The South Park channel.
It's one of those channels that you have to pay extra for, but that like a free weekend or something like that. So that's when I first saw South Park, and it was so fucking hilarious. In part because it was breaking all the boundaries. It was just so.
When it comes to animation.
Especially, I mean, have you seen the trailer for South Park the movie? They had all the scientists from Japan using the latest technology to render Cartman basically just doing a little dance and sing in German or whatever.
I don't think I have, Artrix. I believe when the movie was airing, my dad turned off the TV signal.
Probably. Also, the movie in hindsight was it was a fun movie, but it was also.
It was basically a very long episode.
It was a very long episode, but
Isn't that... Look, Artrix, isn't that what movies from TV series are? Like, universally.
Well,
I'm
a lot of movies that are like from TV adaptations do up the ante. And to a certain extent that can be said about the South Park movie, because even though the movie didn't look particularly better than your average South Park episode, well, for one thing, it had a shit ton of songs and that movie vibe to it.
And don't forget there was the Satan sodomizing Saddam.
Yeah, I mean, when are you getting to see Satan sodomizing Saddam? It's like, I didn't know I needed this in my life, but here it is staring me in the face, and now I can die happy. But that was like 20 years ago, so I guess I can still die happy because of that. But I'm like, I'm not done here. Yeah. I mean, I thought I could die happy, but then I discovered Kim Possible, and it was like, no, I must keep going. Even long after the series is over. Except that they're now making, that live action adaptation, which is one of the reasons I'm actually drawing this right now. That, and I'm just wanted to have an excuse to draw Kim Possible again. I'm pretty sure she's on my waifu list.
I'm aware.
Yes.
I mean, she's
Possibly.
almost everyone to have waifu list.
Also, I am mentioning the South Park movie. Apparently, there was that one time they went into censorships and managed to make the movie even worse. There was a scene where they watched a porn tape, and it was Cartman's mom having sex with a horse, and the censors were like, no. So they changed the scene to her eating shit. And that apparently passed.
You didn't even see the sex in that scene. It was just, audio. So, so what you're saying is that, not to quote that interview with Peterson, but what you're saying is that it used to have a full graphic scene of Cartman's mom being fucked by a horse, but they were like, no, that's too edgy 5me, so we're just gonna add it, and now it's just
just human.
Yeah, now it's just hot scheisse action.
That's perfectly wholesome family entertainment.
Yes.
Not like those horses.
Or even worse, like just a regular sex. Ugh. Jesus Christ, why would you even want to watch something like that? I mean, come on. Scheisse porn is where it's at.
I agree.
Speaking of songs, since I mentioned that briefly, there was this thing recently that all the normal facts were talking about, which was the Europe. There was that too, yeah. Everyone in the mother was talking about fucking Avengers.
Adventures, yes.
It was the
this is how
Avenger.
With the current entertainment we have.
Yes.
We all watched the Adventures.
We all watched the Adventures. It was a very.
Watch it tomorrow.
Okay, but don't worry about it, Beck, because I have no fucking clue what it's about. You can pull ahead to my head and ask me to recite all the characters from the Adventures, from the Adventure movie, and I'd be like, yeah, just shoot me already, just pull the trigger, because I honestly don't know.
Well,
but you see, it's
obviously Artrix, that was the Metal Man and Storm God, right?
But here's the thing, you see, it's reverse psychology, because the one holding the gun would be like, but that's no fun. I want you to at least try. I'm like, I honestly have no clue.
Artrix, like, you should stop using fun as the ultimate criterion.
And then the guy or the woman, I'm not sexist here, could be a woman too. They would just lower the gun and be like, you're no fun. You get to live. And like, oh fuck. Here I thought I would.
No fun. Test passed.
Yes. And then become like Rorschach Shag, whatever, from the Watchmen movie. I'm like, do it! And then no, I don't want to do it anymore. And I'm like, pull the fucking trigger already.
Well, Artrix, that's where you call them a faggot.
Yeah, but then turns out that they're like really into that.
I don't wanna take away.
Like, I self-identify as a faggot.
As a bundle of sticks. Okay. Anyway, so there was the Eurovision Song Festival, which is, just one of those things that most people watch because that's what you do.
Yes, it's popular and in the stream of domains. It's basically these days it's a very pretentious virtue signal. And that one time Finnish monsters won it, they changed the voting system so it doesn't happen again.
What happened?
So yeah, obviously there was a metric shit ton of virtual signaling, because oh my god, it's something popular and I absolutely do need to signal all the virtues because everyone's watching right now. Also something about Israel winning the Eurovision Song Festival, which is,
Israel.
I mean,
It's very real.
I mean, Israel's been in this Eurovision Song Festival for a long time.
Because it's in Europe, Artrix.
Obviously, it's in Europe. I mean, we basically just carved out a little bit out of the Middle East and replaced it with a bit of Europe, obviously. So that's why Israel. I mean, the same with Australia. Today I learned that Australia was in the Eurovision Song Festivals. Like, why?
It's part of the European Broadcasting Union.
I mean,
it's those wacky Brits again.
Well, they are incredibly British. It's
British.
like, yeah. I mean, you recently YouTube was like, oh, I think you want to watch. YouTube came up to me and said, I think you want to watch this show about cops in Australia. I'm like, why? And YouTube is like, I don't fucking know. You watch it. And there it was. It was a show about police officers in Australia and you know, drunk driving and whatnot. I was like, okay, why? Why is this recommended to me?
And why are the policemen drunk driving?
Yes.
That can be safe.
Generally speaking, it's not very safe to be drunk driving, especially if you're the police. That's very true. Though in their defense, they can at least use their sirens to kind of alert everyone. Like, yo, I'm drunk out of my skull. I'm super fucking drunk. You better get out of the fucking way. I'll run you over. You know, even the sirens is, usually it's like wee wee wee, but in the drunk siren is more like well, hey, head over, whatever. Yeah, the sirens can talk now. That's
obviously.
Yes.
And he's going with like 5 kilometers per minute.
Which would actually be. Yeah, 5 kilometers per minute would actually be
fucking insane, yeah.
Well, fairly normal actually, because if it would be fast, don't get me wrong, but if you're going like 300 kilometers an hour, I think that's roughly about 4 to 5 kilometers an hour. I don't know. I mean per minute, not per hour. But yeah, you'd be sonic if you reach those kind of speeds. Now, if it were 4 kilometers per day, then yeah, that would be incredibly slow. Anyway, so there was the Eurovision Song Festival. Israel won, and as on par of the course, they had some gimmick. They had some really weird costume or whatever. Oh yeah, and then there was also the thing where people went to the Twitter to complain that, oh no, this is cultural appropriation because Malaysia. I mean, the woman was wearing kimono, and that's despite the fact that a shit ton of Japanese people are incredibly flattered if you wear kimonos and that kind of thing. They think it's just fucking great if you go around wearing kimono.
Do you know that apparently, according to liberals, also part of the white privilege?
Well, that sounds more like what a regressive leftist would say.
Statistically they are better than black people, so they can't really pull them down with them, so obviously.
But yeah, so apparently this was a big problem. Normal person would just look at it and be like, "Oh, cool, that's a neat looking costume." But yeah, these people are like, "Oh, how does this victimize someone else or can virtue signal about it?" Oh, this is this dress. It's Japanese, so yeah.
And Japanese people, they can't defend themselves.
Oh, not at all. It's not like they got a fair bit of soft power in the role. Like their cultural influence can be sensed about it everywhere on the planet, but
no. That's all wrong, Artrix. The defense must be performed by other people, as wide as possible.
Yes. Even though I think I'm not sure if it was Japan or Korea, but there's someone invented a phrase that's something along the lines of I forgot what it was, but it was something like just these people in the West just complaining about anything that has to do with I forgot what it was.
It was probably in Chinese.
Yes. But it was basically something along the lines of all these people in the West just kind of trying to pick the battles for the poor people in Asia, even though the people in Asia are like, oh, we actually think this is kind of cool.
Yes,
yeah.
that's what happened with the lady with the prom dress.
Hmm?
It's like, I bought a prom dress and it was cheap and it looks nice. But it's a racist. You're literally Hitler. Get the mustache and glue it to your
Wait.
face so we can beat you legally. And then she's like, no, fuck off.
But
And then the China is like, yes, fuck off. We like it. Go away.
but are you saying that
Well, it's China. They
that-
like, we like it.
God damn it.
Oh, you. But yeah, anyway, Eurovision Song Festival is very exciting. And I sure didn't watch it.
I sure didn't hope the hall would catch fire and it ended.
It's
Also, that was the evil Nazi.
I only now found out that it happened.
Well,
Ah.
it happened, and there was a guy, and he went on the stage, and he yelled into microphone something about Nazis. So obviously he's a Nazi.
Did he say something like Nazis are really bad and you should probably not associate with them? But it was somehow turned into, oh, he uttered the word Nazi, so he must be in support of Nazism.
Well, he said for all the Nazis in British media.
Hmm?
So obviously all they had to do was just cut off the last 2 seconds, and it's like
Yes.
for all the Nazis.
Speaking of
And
Naz,
then he was like, what was it? War is not peace, and you are a retard, and stop fooling people.
also war never
That was
changes,
about it.
and also
Yes.
war changes.
And it's not peace. And that
Yes.
was his message. And now he's very evil outrighter. The thing is, he's a very big fan of Jeremy Corbyn.
Oh God.
If it means something to anybody. So, now even people on the ultra left can be Nazis. It's equality.
Oh, it's the whole guilt by association thing, where it's like, well, you like Corbyn, so you're obviously a good communist comrade, but you also said the word.
But you are also for freedom. We can't have that.
Speaking of freedom,
Freedom.
there was a big gathering of super racist, Nazi, white supremacist people that are very right wing, and they're gonna usher in the Sixth Reich, which was the Day for Freedom in London. It was very terrible and
Yes,
triggering.
we just determined that freedom is bad.
Yeah, I mean they want to have freedom, so that makes them very terrible people. So they all got together in London, and they had a little get together, and that people like Count Dankula coming up to the stage and saying something like he wants freedom for everyone, I guess. Something stupid like that.
How can he do that?
I mean,
arrest this man.
everyone was expecting him to basically just declare the Sixth Reich, but instead he was, going on a spiel about, oh yeah, everyone should be free and, be able to say what they want. Something gay like that.
That sounds terrible.
Yes. Also something about not wanting to be associated with ethno-nationalism, some stupid shit like that. I mean, he was obviously dog whistling. He actually just meant something like kill everyone who isn't me, obviously. I mean, he went even further than regular racism. He just wants to... He literally said, I just want to kill everyone who isn't me.
Sounds good.
Yep. That's a message I can support by the tune of 190,000 pounds by now. Like, wasn't it... I'm not sure if he brought this up recently, but like Notch... added like 20,000 pounds to his legal defense thingy.
The last week, a very despicable, evil person who wants to say stuff got like 2 times what he wanted. Let me see.
Wasn't it because Sorgen of Arcade also had like a legal fund with that? You know, he reached the goal in like 4 hours or something like that.
Yes. Well, in 24 hours, it was more than 100,000, and right now it's 191. Yes, so that's the thing, and it's trending, and it's raised by 7,926 people.
Well, that's nice for him. Get all the nice lawyers.
I think it's even nice for the lawyers.
Yes, he's going to make bank. It's like,
They
look.
They will get paid for their job. Huh?
Yes, they're like, okay, it's good they got all the money. Now I get 190,000 pounds. All I have to do is just bullshit my way in court. I'm lawyer guy.
He doesn't even have to bullshit because the
Yeah.
principles of the law are on his side. If he don't count that like those little clandestine modifications to law that the police, the police districts seem to have.
Mm-hmm. Well, which case are you talking about now? Like the Count Dankula thing? Because
there was some riot that started at like police in London in some borough or whatever they call it. Well, something about like yes you can speak what you want. That's not legal. And then somebody looked into the British laws. I mean, as much often they have written down because British, they don't care.
Yeah, that's the thing about
they don't care about their laws. Isn't it great?
That's kind of the thing about British laws. They don't really have like the British equivalent of Bill of Rights. I think it's even like they don't have a formal constitution. It's
basically everything goes. Literally everything.
Except not really. They have like common law and whatnot, but it's not codified in.
They're probably still going by Magna Carta.
They don't really have something like a Bill of Rights. So I mean, in America, it's like you got the Bill of Rights, which basically just stipulates, everyone is like free and shit. In England, that ain't the case, They have like a few rules and like, I guess, I guess you have to do this and let's see, if you go over the speed limit, you might get a fine, I guess, and we'll figure this out as we go.
Yes.
I guess.
That's how you get Oliver Cromwell, Artrix.
Yes. Oh yeah, and Zealand isn't a country. They made a rule specifically for that. Zealand was like, we're a country, and the UK was like, oh, hold on, hold my coffee. Oh, I mean tea. Hold my tea. So like, okay.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. There used to be a guy in our country in like late 90s who declared his own country in his house.
Yeah, those are fairly common actually. Like, I think that can be said about any country. I mean,
he had his own constitution and his own money.
I mean, micronations are all over the place. I know of at least a handful in the United States. Well, there's Zealand. I'm pretty sure there's someone in the Netherlands who claim to be a microstate. And I guess they're everywhere. Just people declaring their living room as a sovereign nation, even though I'm pretty sure it's often done in jest or just, out of just to make it a novelty or whatever. I mean, well, we all know what happened to no, it wasn't Kick-Asia. It was like where was Kick-Asia set in? Was
Molossia.
sorry,
It was in Molossia.
Mosia. That could be the case. I remember something like
That's
that.
probably not a real country either.
It was one of those micronations, but they agreed. Okay, we're going to film one of our shitty That Guy in the Glasses movies here, and they were like, yeah, sure, we need the money. So yeah, and that's exactly what they said. They just sneezed, and
It appears to be true.
yes. But unbeknownst to them, they just declared war with the local Indian tribe, and now they're in a war with the Indians. And the report is like, how does it make you feel? And
The Indians are like, we will not give them any tech service.
no, the Indians will be like, well, we want to conquer this land so we can build a casino.
Also, they will give them tech service, but the false one.
No, they just want to go there and build and build a casino on that land.
Oh, those Indians.
Yes, I mean the land is already the building's already there and everything. Now they just need to make it a casino. So yeah. GG Indians, G fucking G. So, you know what, Sekele, you have any topics you want to bring up? You usually have a few things.
One I
Was-
was able to remember what that one that I was bring up like 2 weeks ago and didn't. Basically, an American tourist got lost
They keep
in
doing
the
that.
Slovak mountains.
What
He
tell them to
called the
stop?
police. Saying,
What tell him to stop doing that?
Also, you're cutting out pretty badly, and it's not Discord this time around, as far as I know. I mean, I
the
can
one
hear
coming up,
I can hear everyone else clearly.
me.
I can hear you now.
So what happened? Oh,
Yo,
No.
Oh.
no you.
oh.
Yo,
No, you.
Do you hear me or not?
yes,
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay, so basically, an American tourist got lost in the Slovakian woods.
How do you even do that? I mean, Slovakia isn't that big.
But the woods are.
That's true. There's a lot of woods in Slovakia, isn't there? On a scale of... Okay, go ahead.
So what does he do? Was the police, the American police.
Okay, so he's lost in the Slovakian woods and then goes through all the trouble to call the police department in the United States.
That's a good start.
Well, it's the only number he knows.
So imagine you're an American, and you're in the Slovakias, and you're lost, and then you call up the police, and police like, this is American police speaking. Howdy, how can I help you, partner? Because all Americans sound like Texans,
Yes.
and you're like, I'm stuck in this here Slovakia, all the way over here. Can you go help me? Police is like, you want me? Wait.
What state is that in?
Yes. The amazing thing about that is I remember, being in America and being in this Walmart, And that's legit what the salesman said at one point. He was like, so from what state are you guys from? And we're like, from Netherlands. It's like, oh, never heard of it. Like, yeah, that's because it's a country in Europe. It's nowhere near America. And it's like, oh, okay. And then moved on with our lives. The end.
And he stopped talking to you communists.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm also sure he muttered something about communism, so.
Obviously.
But then I assured him, no, I'm not a communist.
And that's where he stopped talking to you.
Yes. Which was, it was a very sad day. I want to become friends with him. I
Like,
already
you are not a communist. I bet you are fun too.
I mean, I imagined being able to, I imagined going to the bar with him, have a few pints. But then I realized I was only like 19 and that's illegal in America. Yeah. I mean, not that fucking mattered because, at home, I drank as much as I goddamn wanted. Because police aren't exactly going into your house to check to see if there's any under... Well, they technically are,
Well, not anymore, right? But they used to do.
I'm pretty sure they still arrest people for underage drinking in their homes.
Like in the 30s.
No, they still do that.
Well, in the 30s they arrested more than just underage people.
Yes, they arrested all the people. I mean, the 30s, the Prohibition era is like a textbook example of if you make something illegal, it doesn't automatically stop the thing that you don't want to happen anymore. People like, we want to drink. The government's like, no, you can't. It's bad for you. But people drank anyway. And they went through extraordinary ends to acquire the booze.
That's true.
To the point of organized crime and little things like that.
You call it organized crime. They called it a business opportunity act.
Well, it sure was a business opportunity to the point where they will get willing to gun one another down. They were like, oh, I guess booze is illegal now. This is a great business opportunity. I can make all the money now. All of it. So they made all the money. They made
you especially make all of the money if you kill the competition.
Especially if you kill at first we're like, okay, you're making money, I'm making money, we're making a lot of money, you and I, but I could have even more money, but only if I eliminate you first. So they did that.
And he eliminated him first, and everybody was happy except for the dead guy, but he was dead, so it was okay.
That I guess that was their line of reasoning. Yeah, the guy's dead now, so
he
it's
can't
just
not be happy.
he can't opine anymore since he's dead. So yeah, being discarded. It must be similar to the whole thing with Stalin and his sidekick. He was like, oh, my sidekick, I don't like him much anymore, but it doesn't really matter if I unperson him. I mean, I can kill him, but that's not enough. I also must make sure he never existed in the first place. He was probably very good at Photoshop before Photoshop was even a thing.
Probably.
Also, having absolute dictatorial powers over the press is, kind of handy.
What a dick.
Well, he was kind of a dick. I'm pretty sure, a lot of people, know Stalin as just Stalin, but it's a very poorly known fact that his first name was Dick. Dick Stalin Joseph.
I remember that from the lessons of history. Dick Jugeshwari.
I mean, I'm sitting here rewriting history for lols, but...
Well, that's what he did too.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just kind of getting back at him now. And then
Basically, he's your idol, Artrix.
yes. Actually, all this time I was lying. He's actually my biggest inspiration. Like, I want to be just like Stalin.
You should be in the government, Artrix.
Yes. And I'll introduce communism, but only because I want to be like Stalin. It's not
like just like Stalin, but better.
Yes. I mean, I can play Doki Doki Literature Club, but in real life. I can just go through like these citizen records and be like, I want to delete this person. And then it just happens. And then, you know, the person tasked to do it is like, why would you do it? I'm like, oh, just because I feel like it. Yeah, because I can. I mean, I don't even know the guy. I don't even know what he might have done. I just want to do it.
Just do it.
Yeah,
That's
just
what they say, Artrix.
it just seems kind of fun to me. That's all. Which is actually one of the scariest forms of absolute power there is, when someone just does things not. It's like the Joker complex. The most terrifying people are not those with a very clear agenda or anything, but those that just want to see the world burn. That do things for no explicit reason.
Yes. Did you ever hear the term Batman Gambit?
I don't think I've heard the specific term, but I know what you're referring to, because it's
What am I referring to?
well, I don't know, but there was like a scene in Batman, in one of the Batman movies, where Joker was basically saying to Batman, okay, Mr. Goody Good Shoes, you got this shit all figured out. You got everything, you know, in your mind, you got everything neatly organized. You got your set of ethics and everything. You got this shit all figured out. So here's my challenge for you. You can save that guy over there. He's got a ticking time bomb. Doing nothing will guarantee that he's going to die. Or there's this boat on the other side of the goddamn city, full of innocent people. And you can make a choice. You can save the boat, or you can save the one guy. So what's gonna be, Batman? You can't be at two places at once. And you can't take me down. So yeah, good luck with that. Is that the one, or is it something else?
Oh, you described the scene, Artrix, but what are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say? There's only one Xaverius. Well, actually, there's two once my cloning machine is up and running, but it's not. I'm not quite there yet. So.
No, you.
Well, yeah, there would be a you know, if it's operational, but yeah.
But no, you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Batman Gambit is manipulating somebody into doing exactly what you want by assuming that they are going to do exactly what they usually do.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, Batman doesn't kill people. Therefore,
Yes.
you can very much manipulate Batman to do what you want by, you know, presenting him with a person that would have to be killed.
In order
So
to defend.
he's gonna spend all that extra effort to not kill him and arrest him instead, and that's how you get space to do your stuff.
And Batman isn't exactly like Aang, who can just spirit bend the Eve. Actually, would Aang even be able to do anything about the Joker? If Aang existed in the same universe as the Joker, could he actually, what could he do? He can't take his bending away because the Joker doesn't bend. I mean, all he needs is a fucking lighter.
Well, the Joker would probably be like, your makeup is better than mine, and then he would shoot him.
That too. Well, yeah, Aang could try and jilt the Joker, but I think it's highly established that jailing the Joker helps. I mean, he either escapes or...
Well, he has the ability to unjail himself.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe he's one of those gentleman agreement Jokers who's like, oh yeah, I can get out this jail, but it's poor sportsmanship if I do so. So I'm just gonna sit here and just wait, like a good boy. Except that wouldn't be, that wouldn't fit his character whatsoever if he actually said that. Just saying. Anyway, what prompted this whole spiel? We're talking
Nazis.
about. Oh yeah, of course, it's always fucking Nazis.
We're actually talking about an American calling the American police when he was lost in Slovakia.
Oh yeah, and somehow we end up talking about the Joker.
Oh, that's a Nazi country.
And anyway, did he actually manage to get out of the woods?
Basically, what happened? The American police then called Ministry of Foreign Affairs, called the Slovakian embassy, who then called the Slovakian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, who then called the Ministry of Justice, who then called the Slovak police, who then called the rescue workers, and they got him out.
So yeah, instead of just calling the fucking rescue workers directly, it had to go through 20 billion bureaucratic layers of nonsense just to call the rescue workers.
We realized America does not have a Ministry of Foreign Affairs, so I wonder who they called.
Probably
it was someone who handles foreign contact.
Probably just the American embassy in Slovakia. So yeah, having the American embassy, having to do that sounds kind of a waste of their time. But yeah, that sure happened. I'm trying to recall what else was on the agenda. So if any of you have a topic, then you go ahead and bring it up. So. Oh yeah, there was that new Thundercats series that was announced extremely recently.
Well, I like just now found out about it.
Exactly.
The Thunder Gremlins, because they all look like Diva Gremlin.
Yeah, they are basically drawn in a similar style as OKKO. Cartoony. And of course...
It's like lazy drunk Steven Universe. I mean, even lazier.
Except that I think OKKO has more personality and lightheartedness, so to speak, than the entirety of Steven Universe.
They are wacky.
Yes.
Look at how wacky these Thundercats are.
It seems like
back in 2011 they tried serious Thundercats done in the same style as Avatar: The Last Airbender, and guess what? People fucking hated it. Nobody liked it, nobody watched it, and so it got cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
So now, they made the exact opposite, which is even more disgusting.
Yes. The exact opposite, because guess what? Silly cartoons actually do well in the ratings. And of course, now all those faggots on the internet who previously complained about the 2010 Thundercats and basically themselves are to blame for its cancellation, they are now complaining that it's not exactly like the 2010 Thundercats, and suddenly they like it. Like, suddenly, after a decade.
Can't we just re-air the original series? I think that would solve a lot of problems.
They certainly could do it. Well, with the whole thing with no, I'm not sure about that, because a lot of these cartoons, due to the whole legal mumbo jumbo, they are not allowed to re-air cartoons that were produced for a specific time frame. So, for instance, the reason why we're not seeing Symbiotic Titan anymore, which to this day I find a shame.
Forever.
To this day, I find it to be a shame that that series didn't get proper closure and that was cancelled the way it was, but, you know, that's just me. But the reason that we can't even fucking see it anymore, which, you know, makes sense. You're like, okay, we spend all this money developing this series, but apparently I think it has something to do with, I remember what it was. So basically, Cartoon Network thought it was such a commercial failure that they written it off. So it's basically like you're running a company and you bought some pens to write with, and at the end of the year you can write them off. So you technically still have them, but you also written them off. So according to the text, you don't have it anymore. It's been written off.
You ate them.
Yes. You could have actually used them. You could have eaten them. You could have, you know, stuffed them in your ass. Doesn't matter for the text, man. The point is you've written them off. As far as the text is concerned, they don't exist anymore because you've written them off.
You don't have to be ashamed. Lots of people eat their pens.
Yes, that's why I have to, you know, buy a lot of Cintiq styluses because I keep eating mine. It's, you know, it's very tasty, but it's also a very expensive hobby, to be honest. You know, I told myself to go easy on the stylus eating, but you know how hard habits are to break.
No, can do.
You know, doctors like, yeah, you should probably not be eating your Cintiq stylus. And like, oh, but they're so tasty. And then the doctor's going on a spiel about, I don't know, plastics and digestive system. It's just like them.
And
like,
ducks for some reason.
Oh yeah, and that too. But I'm like, fine. I guess I won't be eating my stylus anymore. But on the plus side, it does save me a lot of money. At least as much money I save by not smoking. Like I recently discovered that a pack of Marlboro is like $6.90 these days. And some people smoke that, you know, several packs a day times 365. I don't even need to explain how much money that is.
Constantly, continuously.
Yes. They're just constantly smoking
Just
these cancer sticks.
Perma smoke.
Yes. Which is fine then until you realize just how fucking expensive it is. What I'm saying, kids, is don't smoke. Just don't. Just don't even think about it. It's a colossal waste of your money. It's not good for your health. And
Artrix. What if you steal some cigarettes and then you sell them and then you buy cigarettes for the money?
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that statement. I mean, you know, stealing cigarettes to sell them in order to acquire more cigarettes is absolutely brilliant. I see absolutely no flaw in this whatsoever. It's brilliant. I'm going to ask the world police officer politicians to give you like an award for making up this brilliant plan, and they'll give you $1 million.
I think I deserve Nobel Peace Prize for this.
Oh, no. Xaverius,
Look, everybody else already has it.
you're being.
Apparently, someone wants to nominate Donald Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize.
I mean,
yes.
Look, Obama has one, and all he did was start a war or two. Like, oh, that's a nice government you have in Libya. I would be ashamed if something happened to it.
That's the thing about Obama and his. I mean, even back in the day, I was like, why are you giving Obama fucking Nobel Peace Prize, even though he's...
Obviously because he's black, and Nelson Mandela is also black, and he got a Peace Prize, so why not Obama? Are you racist?
Yeah, obviously, whatever. I mean, that word is... it doesn't mean jack shit anymore, so...
Let's not mention the fact that Mandela was basically a terrorist.
And look at South Africa now.
It's a very nice place.
Concentration camps.
Was it such a nice place?
Yes.
Oh god.
To blow the place out of existence.
Nah, just ignore it. I mean, yeah, don't spend time trying to take that place seriously. I mean, or just shoot another District 9 there. That works too. If we can have another District 9 movie, that would be nice.
With white people instead of aliens.
No, well, if we could, you know, that could work, I guess. Or make the aliens like make it would still be aliens, but trying to shoehorn that shit in, I guess. What were we talking about?
Everything.
We were talking about that Thundercats.
Okay. Well, I think I actually didn't bring it up, so I'll do it again. I think they're obviously going for the Teen Titans Go routine here. So they're because
but Teen Titans Go had art that maintained the character's shape and everything, and you could see who was who.
It was also like the generic geometric shit, and this new
That
series.
was, but they kind of looked different a bit, at least.
Yeah, this new series at least seemed to have like a very expressive art style, but
Yeah, well, Thundercats are just like these amorphous, blobby shapes, and nobody's even bothering to give them different features.
except they do.
Just paint it different color.
From the one picture I've seen so far, they have very expressive character designs, and
they all have the same expression as the proper Artrix.
it's just maybe that won't be the case in the show. Also, from what I've seen, they have very nicely exaggerated facial expressions, which I can always do with nice exaggerated facial expressions, which is probably why I liked Rayman Origins and Legends. And it's kind of got that sort of vibe going.
You also like it because, to be honest, the last game before that was Rabbids, and anything is better than Rabbids.
Yeah, I would
No,
even.
Rabbids is way older. Like, Rabbids is like 2006.
Yeah, that's why the Rayman Legends is so nice, because it came after Rabbids.
And after Origins.
I mean, yeah, we got a new Rabbids game now, which is supposedly an actual fun game.
Ansel tried 3D with Rayman 2, and it worked, and then with Rayman 3, and then suddenly something went wrong, and there were rabbits. And he's like, no, 3D leads to a dark path, and went back to 2D.
But that's the thing. The after Rayman 3 they introduced the rabbits phenomenon, and I remember
Everything died.
I mean, the first game around that time, a friend of mine got a Wii, so I played some of this Rayman and Rabbids game, and it was like it was 90.
Sure this is a game.
It was 90% Rabbids, and they kind of shoehorned Rayman in there, like so it's like. Lol, XAD, look at all these city rabbits. Oh, I guess Rayman's there too. And yeah, it had absolutely nothing to do with Rayman.
Yes, and then Ansel got pissed off and went and made his own studio, and now he's making some sort of survival game.
I mean, the game had Rayman in
survival
it.
Game Artrix.
The game had Rayman in it, and it kind of had the same art style, so I give them props for that.
3D.
Well, it wasn't 3D, but it also had like the distinct Rayman art style thing going on in
I would
that
call it
game.
an Ansel art style because Rayman had that, and Sonic Trouble had that, and Beyond Good and Evil to some measure also.
Yeah. Though, wasn't the Tonic Trouble thing like a precursor to Rayman 2, where they basically just made the game to test the engine and everything?
It might be.
I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, even back in the day when that game came out, I was like, this looks an awful lot like what Rayman is supposed to be. For one thing, the guy doesn't have arms and legs.
And also Tonic Trouble was completely forgot.
Yes, because it was essentially the giant tech demo that was.
This is a live test. Please
Yes.
do not pay attention.
If you want to buy this, if you want to buy this game, go ahead. But just put it on the market so we can test the engine, I guess.
Put it on the market.
Yeah, go.
Wow.
You know, it's like the open door fish market where you walk down the stalls and it's like.
This is a test fish. Please do not buy.
1 kilo of Rayman test game. 1 kilo of Rayman test game. Only 60 francs. Because, you know, back then we still had French francs and everything. 60 francs for the Rayman. Tonic game guy
Not
platform.
Rayman Trouble.
Bonjour, are you sure that this is not Le Rayman? No, it's absolutely original game. Do not steal. Only 70 francs. Well, 70 francs isn't all that much. I'll take it. And then they play the game and turns out that no, this is exactly right like Rayman.
I like it.
Yeah, because it's like Rayman. You know.
And it doesn't have rabbits.
And fortunately back then.
To be fair, Artrix, if it came out before Rayman 2,
which it did.
Then it was nothing like Rayman because Rayman was 2D.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I've seen screenshots and everything from Rayman 2, before that game came out. But everything about the game just screamed. This is the Rayman art style. This is just Ubisoft making a Rayman game, but without Rayman.
This game looks like it was designed by a certain insane French person. Yes, it was. I am surprised.
Very. Color me surprised. Oh my.
Agree.
Anyway. Also, once again, what prompted this discussion?
That Thundercats.
Oh yeah, Thundercats reboot.
Yes, the dead Thundercats.
Totally best about this.
Cats.
This shit already happened once. And it happened again. And it keeps happening. And the faggots on the internet don't learn. They never learn.
What a bunch of
Just as we brought up Teen Titans Go. This is exactly that shit. Basically, okay, you had Teen Titans. And it ended. And people could not get over the fact that it ended. And so they kept whining and whining. And then DC and Warner Brothers and Cartoon Network brought them Young Justice.
Oh yeah.
A similar premise as Teen Titans with a more serious touch. It was critically well acclaimed, yet the fans of Teen Titans kept whining, no, this is shit, this is not Teen Titans, we want the old Teen Titans back, cancel this shit. And so they canceled it, and they brought back the old Teen Titans. And that's how we got Teen Titans Go. So yeah, it was their fault again. It was their own freaking fault.
Wait, so you're saying, but you said they brought back the old Teen Titans, but it was Teen Titans Go.
No.
Yeah.
Basically, back when there was this thing on Cartoon Network called DC Nation, of animated pilots about various DC superheroes could actually vote on the DC website which one of them is supposed to be picked, which one of them they should pick up for a full series. And one of those pilots was the pilot for Teen Titans Go. And since it had the Teen Titans in it, with the same characters, with similar character designs, and the same voice actors, of course everyone voted for it. And then they got Teen Titans Go picked up.
without realizing, oh, this is nothing like the original series.
Even those pilot shorts for Teen Titans Go were clearly more comedy than the series original. Well, the original series was comedic, but not this comedic.
Well, to their defense, because I'm I did see like the shorts and everything, like Teen Titans Go, and admittedly back then it was kind of refreshing. It was like, okay, it isn't great, but it's kind of fun. But no one realized that Teen Titans Go would be going on and on and on for years, to the point where it basically became the only show that ever runs on Cartoon Network.
Because
It's like fucking SpongeBob.
Yes, it's like Cartoon Network's SpongeBob. I mean, they had like marathons where it was like
Sponge Titan.
48 hours of Teen Titans Go. And it's successful. People watch it. I think it's in part because, especially the people that are more quote-unquote serious, tend to watch things online and on streaming services.
Exactly.
Because something like Teen Titans, that's something you can watch when you're bored and you just want to have something on in the background. Much.
Like, I can't wait to die. Let's speed up this.
Yes. So you're like, okay. It's much like a show like Family Guy, where you're just chilling, or you got back from work or from school, whatever. You turn on
Or you
TV.
suffer terrible mental trauma and need something to vibes your mind. Or maybe your brain is missing.
Or that, yes. Anyway, what is it, Sekele?
I was just making fun by quoting some of the YouTube titles like Funny Family Guy Scene Compilation.
And then you watch it and you're like, I didn't laugh a single time. They lied. I find that so annoying when you're browsing YouTube and there's this video. It's like, try not to laugh or giggle. So funny, XCD. And it's obviously not gonna be funny.
And then you giggle at the pathetic attempt and move on.
Yes. But that's kind of
Well,
ironic.
I already giggled. I guess I don't even have to run that.
Yes. I don't even have to watch it. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But yeah, rarely the thing in those videos is actually funny. But
really?
they got your click, so they've got that going, I guess. Hooray! But yeah, at this point, given how recently the announcement was, I don't think there's much we can add about that, about the new Thundercats. I mean, I remember watching like the 2012 series. Here's the thing, it was alright. I didn't hate it, but it also didn't exactly catch my attention to the point where I was like, okay.
I love the fact how everyone hated it back when it premiered, and now the new series is announced, suddenly everyone loves it. Suddenly.
Well, you know what they say, you don't know what you'll have until you lost it. So in this case,
basically act as if they always liked it.
That's true, Artrix. Do you think that's why so many people like communism these days?
I mean, a lot of people don't appreciate that they have food until they don't have food.
Exactly. I don't think I would have said this, but we need communism, Artrix.
Just for lols. It's basically like a worldwide prank.
Yes.
So,
Everybody's dying of hunger.
Yes.
Like, well, you want it.
Yep. This is what you wanted. Yeah.
Like just sitting in your bunker and looking at your single potato that
Yep.
you have to eat for the next 6 months.
We're
Comes and everyone is still hungry.
yes. So everyone's hungry.
But Sekele, but everyone is hungry, not
Yes.
just some people.
Everyone's hungry equally. Isn't this what you wanted? G fucking G. Okay. I guess we can go for one more topic before we end this episode.
There was a great injustice committed this week.
There is also the thing that the Smurfs are celebrating their 60th anniversary this year.
Wait, they're only 60? I could have sworn they've been around longer.
Belgium.
Apparently they're 60, well.
But then again, yeah, it's Belgium. Belgium hasn't been around for that long. Said the Dutchman. Oh.
Turns out Smurfs were essential for the founding of Belgium.
Was it?
That the Dutchman is the Slovak.
Yes.
I guess.
No, it was a joke at the expense of the Belgians because, you know, Belgium was part of the Netherlands and then they rage quitted.
The joke at the expense of Slovakia, like, yeah, we exist for an even shorter time.
But it's your own fault. You want it to go away.
Well, isn't the case with Slovakia more that I mean, before Czechoslovakia, weren't you guys Slovakia at one point? And then there was like a merger.
When they decided that they would rather be Nazis than occupied, I think.
Okay.
But before that it was pretty unified. And before that it was Hungary and the Hungarians were trying to wipe them out. That didn't work.
That also happens, yes. Well, was Slovakia ever a nation state before any of this? Like, was there a time where...
And like very, 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 very back.
And it was called Mitra.
Basically, when like the Roman Empire collapsed, there was the Principality of Mitra, where Slovakia is right now.
Because you see that the case of Belgium is that you know, prior to the Belgium state, they were, you know, they were kind of their own thing in the sense they were like a bunch of provinces. I don't think they actually had like a unified state or anything. They were provinces within like a larger political union, which was at one point the Habsburg thing, and then they became part of the provinces of the Netherlands. Then the Netherlands became like a unified state, and then the Belgians, like the southern province, like, you know what, no, I don't want to do this anymore, and they rage quitted. And only then they actually pronounced the nation state of Belgium. So yeah, prior to that, they didn't really exist as an entity.
Yeah.
So GG Belgium. But we still love you.
Well, as for Slovakia, Canada, it existed until, well, basically first Czechoslovakia happened in like what?
Because then there was also the Principality of Moravia.
Well, it was great Moravia. Because, you know, they made it great again.
Actually, it became Great Moravia only after it absorbed the Principality of Nitra into it.
Well, yeah.
Well,
they made themselves great.
If it makes you feel any better, you could also be Luxembourg, which used to be like bigger and actually, you know, be a thing, and you know, the surrounding countries just kept chipping away from it, and now it's like really small. But, you know, they can call themselves the only principality left on the planet, so they got that going.
Doesn't Monaco also count?
I don't think Monaco is a principality or whatever.
Well, I'm pretty sure Poland will count soon.
Hey, is Poland becoming a principality? Why
Give
would
it time, Artrix. Give it time.
Why would they ever want to become a principality?
Mostly just to fuck with you.
Yeah, they are kind of heading this way.
That could be kind of interesting to see, like a country just reinstating a monarchy just because.
Well, there was that one time the last year, was it the year before, when they decided that independent courts are not a good thing.
You mean in Poland?
Yes, in Poland.
Basically, now the government can tell the courts how to decide.
But isn't the whole point of a judicial branch of the government to check the laws? So it's like, yo, you know, this.
But
It's like, yeah, I want to do this thing, and then, or the well, it's specifically, well, everyone, including governments. The government's like, hey, I want to create this law. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. And then the judicial branch of the government's like, oh, hold on. Let me have a look at this. And like, you can't do this. And you know, the government's like, why? Well, it conflicts with this law.
And then Poland is like, but we can. And then they do.
Hmm.
And then they get distracted because somebody said Polish death camps.
No. They get distracted because someone said something mean about Poland on the internet, so they have
Yes,
to
exactly. Somebody said Polish death camps.
Yes, so they have to pull all their resources just to basically.
You can't say Polish death camps in Poland anymore. I mean, that's mandated by law. It's illegal.
Oh yeah. That we talked about that earlier. No, these days you have to basically say. What was it again? Something very...
German concentration camps built on Polish territory.
Oh, yeah. What? Can't they...
Poland was kind of part of Germany at that point.
Can't we, like, make that an acronym so it flows nicely? Because right now that's kind of a mouthful. Yeah, no. That sounds like a pain in the arse. I'm sorry, Poland. Also, I'm never sorry. I'm not gonna do that. It's too much effort. Also, I'm on a boat. Well, in this case, the boat is shaped like the Netherlands, but the point still stands.
It's always shaped like Netherlands.
Wait, speaking of ships.
No, the ship.
Yes. Apparently, in our fine Rotterdam harbor, that is in Rotterdam, we welcomed the world's largest floating vessel on the planet, which is the largest in the world, incidentally. It is a boat. It's really big.
Wow.
And apparently it's so big that it can single-handedly just pull oil rigs away. It's like, oh, that's a nice oil rig you got going on there. It would be a shame if someone went and moved it about.
That's next level piracy. Do you think it can tow away Ireland?
It can totally tow away Ireland. I'm sure of it. It can also tow away Zealand with ease. You know, Zealand is sitting there being all like, I might be in the UK's territorial waters and everything, but Zealand's strong. And then this huge ship just comes about. It's like, this ship is bigger than your entire country, and we've been told to remove you. So
Zealand officials are like, well, what? Lots of ships are bigger than countries.
Yes, but ours is especially big. Also, you and what army? And then Zealand's like, oh.
And that's why they let the trained penguins on them.
No. What they do is they take a handful of stamps and passports and they throw it at the ship.
The last time they managed with water cannons.
Yes.
Well, that's true, Artrix. All they have to do is make an invalid stamp and put it on the ship, and then the ship can't enter the borders.
And then they die.
It has to leave, Artrix.
But yeah, it's currently docked on the Maasvlakte harbor, which is like that extension of Netherlands, so there should be more than enough space for it. Because I don't see it, getting anywhere near where I'm at now, considering that's bridges and whatnot.
I like how Netherlands is so big that if you build a harbor, it actually, projects on the map. in
Well,
the shape of the country.
You'll find that that's the case for. I mean, the size of this harbor is big enough for it to be quite noticeable.
Unlike Netherlands.
Yes, the Netherlands is noticeable on the map. It may be small, but you can actually see it.
Barely.
I mean, I'll even go as far as saying this.
You made
know.
this next to Denmark.
Yes, but you can actually make out the shape of the country as well as Denmark's. It's like you look at the map and you can actually see the outline. Whereas if you're a landlocked country, unless you draw the borderlines, it's like, well, the country is
Or
somewhere
you can
in
look
here.
at the rivers and the mountains.
Yes, but
It's a nice country.
who's got time for that? It's all about them islands, baby. Islands and
that's
shores and
generally people who use maps, Artrix.
also we got islands and rivers and we got them both. We got the best of both worlds.
But you don't use them to divide.
We even have mountains. They're not very tall mountains.
Literally 2 mountains.
No, well we got a small hill range and we got some bigger hills in the south. It's
from
like
Belgium and it's no longer a part of Netherlands, Artrix.
No, I'm gonna stop you right there. No, it's the tri-point with the Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany. It's where the 3 countries converge.
And he
Which is
claimed that he's at least partially Dutch.
Well, yeah, that place is partially Dutch, yes, because that's the whole point of the tri-point.
Are you sure?
Hmm?
Oh, okay then.
But yeah, it's a nice place. It got a nice labyrinth. You can go there and get lost, and except not really because you just plow through the hedges and be like, it's a nice maze, I guess. But I don't play by rules anymore.
It was a nice maze, I guess.
Yes.
It died.
Yeah. Speaking of dying and the number 3, I also got some news.
Okay, well we're
Some minor news.
minor. Well, tell us.
Well, you remember Gaben?
Not Gaben.
Yes. There's a new policy change on Steam. Basically, they are sending all those indie developers with visual novel games and, let's say, with adult content. They are telling them to either remove that adult content or they have to take the game down.
So in other
For
words,
example, games like Honey Pop and
So
such.
either you remove
But,
the
the thing
adult
is,
content or you remove yourself.
But pretty much what people are getting upset about, because it's pretty much just like the small to mid-tier developers that are getting those messages, but stuff like Witches, which is definitely explicit scenes, it isn't getting touched by Valve, because that game actually makes money and for some reason has mainstream appeal.
well, that's kind of I imagine that Honey Pop, it's not exactly. It's obviously smaller than Witcher, but it's not exactly that unknown. I mean, your average person probably knows about Honey Pop.
Yeah, but basically the developers of Honey Pop have gotten, I think even like 2 weeks ago, the message that they need to remove that content up until to a certain date, or they will remove the game.
I mean,
And some other developers as well.
Don't get me wrong, I don't agree with this policy change whatsoever, but
But yeah, of course, games like GTA 5 and
GTA
Witcher
5.
3, exactly, are not getting touched by Steam, like with that policy. Like they definitely would violate the policy as well. I would even argue even more, because you can actually see bits there.
There's nothing wrong with GTA 5, except you can. No, sorry, I said can. I mean, the only thing you can do in GTA 5 is murder prostitutes and take their money.
that's exactly the only thing you can do in that game. Absolutely nothing else. It's literally a prostitute killing simulator.
Yeah, you definitely can't have like a very close upload while interacting with a prostitute in first person. No, not at all.
You can also not kill any man in that game. That's impossible. It's like you put the Corsair over over guy, and the game's like, that's not very patriarchal of you.
And just auto targets the nearest woman.
Yeah, shoot this woman instead. She's just a woman. That guy over there, yeah, he's part of patriarchy.
He's a guy.
Yeah, he's a guy. You can shoot him. God, Jesus, what's wrong with you? But
this is exactly how the game works.
But yeah, not
Feminists actually believe.
well, some of the really batshit crazy ones anyway.
But yeah, pretty much like yeah, Valve requests that developers remove the sexual content from their games, or they will remove from the store. Like, and there's a lot that falls under it. So yeah. So even for like, I get why they are doing it, because if you are growing to as a company, if you are growing to a certain size, then you know you have a certain size and you want to make the shareholders happy, and apparently they're happier, you know, if you are quote unquote family friendlier, or in that regard. For example, like Twitch, which also doesn't allow that kind of content.
Twitch.
Yes.
I don't know if Twitch ever allowed that sort of content on their service. But I'm actually kind of surprised that Steam would do this, because yeah, who the fuck cares?
Apparently shareholders, someone cared, because otherwise they wouldn't do that. Like,
Yeah, which is why it's such a weird decision. Like, what do they have to gain from? I mean, they already didn't really allow any overtly explicit content. It's not like you can get like legit sex games on Steam. Maybe some very risque content.
we have Witcher.
That's not explicit.
Even Gaben likes some farm Witcher, but
I mean, there is sex in it, but it's not the focus of the game. The same with GTA. It's not like you're buying a straight up sex game. So yeah, it's a weird phenomenon. I don't get why they're doing this, even from business perspective. I mean, you're just alienating a lot of potential. I mean, they're not. It's not like YouTube or Twitch where you have to be concerned about advertisers, because as far as I am aware, Steam doesn't really do advertising. They get their money from commissions on the games they sell. So there's not.
I guess it depends on what, like, you know, marketing is, as Buck said, for family friendly stuff, and it depends. Either they are trying to target games that are predominantly about non-family friendly stuff, or I don't know, maybe they just
Yeah, I mean,
just
they
trying to be, there's not enough butts now. Everybody has to buy Witcher to see a butt. There's no more butts on the internet.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's kind of also it's very weird, because like they're taking some action there against some games, but meanwhile there are all those crappy asset flips with very toxic developers and everything, and they are not really doing anything unless it really breaks the news or something. But otherwise, they're like the Steam store is getting swamped with trash games basically, and like some indie pearls, maybe not the greatest maybe, but some actually interesting games might actually get buried under all this crap, under all those asset flips. Like people, indie developers are making more money on Switch than they are making on the Steam store, because if they release a game on the Switch, on the eShop, then you know people can actually see that there's a game.
Yeah, but that's not really an argument against having adult content on the platform.
Yeah,
It's
but
just,
I mean, like, Steam isn't doing anything proper in that direction with all those games, like with all of this crap. Meanwhile, they are like doing something against sexual content, and that's what kind of like eyebrow raising.
also, I reckon that if they do end up deleting games from the store, it doesn't affect people that already bought the game, I reckon. Because, they paid for it.
Yeah, from what I know, yeah, that should be the case. There are only a few exceptions, like with the PT demo on the PS4. That
And-
got completely removed, and you can't re-download it.
There was also that what was it?
Pilgrim.
The Scott Pilgrim game that just completely disappeared off the face of the planet. But I think that was largely due to
Copyright expired. They basically took the whole thing down.
which is still sketchy as fuck. Like, people bought money to have the game, or can they still play?
People bought money.
Yes.
Yeah,
they-
Because now you don't actually buy games. You just are paying for a permission to play them for a limited
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, that's the digital future. But that's also like the thing with GTA 4, for example. It recently got patched it got a patch and it removed some songs because the license expired. And I would reckon that a studio like Rockstar, who makes billions with GTA 5, could like pony up the few millions for the
I
license.
guess GTA
But
4
no, oh
isn't
my God,
profitable anymore.
Yeah, but
Also, this is why I don't like always online fucking DRM shit. Back
Yeah.
in my day, we played Diablo 2, and you could choose what patch you had. I didn't have 110 because I didn't like the sound gems made in that patch.
yeah, that's the thing. And now you have all this crap. But there are people that will defend it. And I usually try to like get the physical version of a game because I can always have the option, like if I don't like where the game has headed, and if it's not really a super online game, then I can just play the original version without patches.
Well, and it depends, Physical games these days are like, yes, this is a CD plus Steam.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
but
mean-
that's the case.
What's
on
your
PC.
point?
That's the
Why
case
do you
on PC.
exist when you force me to
But
use
yeah.
Steam?
Yeah, but that's only the case on PC. Like on all the consoles, you still get a somewhat full game.
Yes, you
I say
PC from
somewhat because
2003.
You
the
just-
AAA developers still give you an unfinished game. But like
Most games don't even work without downloading a few gigs of updates anyway.
Well, that's the same kind of games Artrix that come on DVD and want Steam from you, like
Yes.
the Mafia I bought. Hell, it didn't even want to install. It was like, error, Steam is not running, or I'm not on Steam. I am confused. This is not Steam. Help.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
then,
that's-
then I was like, you are very retarded, you fucking game. And then I pirated it, and it worked without a hitch.
And that's what happened with Skyrim. It was basically my brother bought Skyrim on DVD. He bought it, and there was like, of course, a key on the bottom, and there was a CD with Skyrim. There was still some installer. He could install it, but he still had to download a lot of patches.
And sometimes the worst thing about this is they don't even give you the Steam key. They give you a key to a page where you have to register and then turn that key into a Steam key. Just put a fucking CD key in it and
That's-
don't make me use Steam. That's why I bought the CD. Jesus fucking Christ.
That sounds pretty convoluted. And anyway,
And yes, Skyrim had that. The Russian version of Skyrim didn't have that for some reason. And the Russian version of Skyrim actually had a pendant with it. I don't know why, but the Russian version was better.
anyway, I think we reached the end of this episode before we keep rambling on about
You
everything.
forgot my topics, Artrix.
You had all the chances to bring up your topics.
Yes, I even tried to bring up one, but Sekele was talking.
Yes. Well.
What usually happens the other way around.
Yeah.
I'm not talking.
So yeah. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, give us money, and see you guys next time for another episode of Radio Rothingham. And I'm gonna grab another beer. So cheers.